What do you think about this?
Paparazzi, right?
We got to do the Sheraton Park Farms Veggie. Howdy, friends and neighbors.
Well, hey friends and neighbors, this is Chuck out at Sheraton Park Farms. Welcome back to the farm. Sure sign of spring, and today's the second day of spring, is clearing these guys out right here. These are our brooders. Now, we've had our meat birds in there for a couple of weeks, and today is the day that they're going to graduate out on the pasture. So let's get the tractors out. Let's get the tarps on them. Let's get the feeders and the drinkers and everything put together, and let's get the birds moved out on the pasture. And man, hard to believe it's chicken season again. So hang out with us for a little bit. Okay, so we got all of our tractors set up. We got the tarps on, feeders, drinkers in, we got the chicks out. And so these are our first meat birds for the season. These are the Freedom Ranger Color Yield. Had these guys for 4 weeks today. So they've been in the brooder for 4 weeks. And the reason, typically they would come out a little quicker, but being here in the foothills of North Carolina, it was 21 degrees last night, so we usually will leave them in the brooder a little bit longer than normal, just to make sure everybody gets feathered out real well. So everybody's doing good. They shipped 310. I think Sandra said we got 305 left, which, you know, that's pretty daggone good survival rate coming out of the brooder. Real happy with that. Using the John Soskovich style chicken tractors again. These are the ones that we've been using primarily now for a couple of years. Built a couple of the Salatin tractors last year, the Salatin pins. And we need to do a review video. We need to do a heads up video. If you'd like to see a heads up video on a Soskovich versus a Salatin tractor, leave me a comment down below. We'll try to do that. You probably can guess where my allegiance lies, but we can go over all the reasons for that in another video. Feeders, we're going to switch over. We're going to try to use some of the longer feeders this year to give more feeding space. One thing that we sort of discovered last year, first off, these things are just about junk. We use them because that's what we've got on some of these, but I've also got a few of these long feeders, so we use them as well. But one thing we discovered last year was feeding space. when we had the longer feeders, there was less feed competition because we had more linear space for the birds to eat, and they seemed to do a little better. So we're going to go transition to the long feeders. We may try some PVC or some guttering or something along those lines that we can suspend and hang from the top of the tractors. To be determined. I'm going to try to find some more of these. I know a guy that's got some. I just need to get up with him and see if he's got some more that he wants to sell. The drinkers, we use the I think these are Plasson, the Bell style drinkers. Need to work on this one. It's not flowing very good. Need to adjust on it. These are the Bell style drinkers. Put brand new buckets up this year. Brand new hose. We've gone with a dark colored bucket. One thing we found in years previous, you go with a darker colored bucket as opposed to the white bucket, you don't get near as much algae built up. We got a Cornish cross in here. Look at that guy. Well, he sort of sticks out like a sore thumb. Darker colored buckets don't have near the problem with algae growing in them, and that helps a bunch. Also a little bit of apple cider vinegar if you're so inclined. We're using this is they call it a meat bird finisher, or flock finisher. We get that from our feed supplier. I think it's oh man, trying to remember on camera. I think it's like a 16% protein, and then we're also we put grit in there as well to help with help the birds break that down and with digestion. So season started. We'll do meat birds all the way through. You know, our goal is typically to have meat birds off pasture by the 1st of October. So we'll try to get these guys. We've got more batches coming, so we'll try to get everybody off and done by the 1st of October. I get that shut. But the work has begun. You know, and something else I'll say about these birds compared to those confinement feeding operations that Tyson and Purdue and Mountain Air and some of those guys raise or have their birds in. Moving forward every day, they get their bedding changed. They got nice high cathedral ceilings, room service, food and water brought to them every day. And look at that view. Man, these chickens got it made. All right, I got to the house and was uploading my video footage and realized that for some reason it did not capture the audio for the outro piece. So just to prove that we do actually eat this stuff and that she does know how to cook, Sandra's fixing actually some of the chicken that we raised. I guess it was last year, but you know, it's always a big deal this time of year getting those birds out of the brooder and out on pasture. It kind of marks the beginning of the spring, and man, it makes us tired just to look at it and think about it. So anyway, I think that's going to do it. Like we always say, please keep us in your prayers. May God bless you and your families, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye.